Hello everyone. Our group has three members, Joshua, David, and Maylin. Today, our presentation is about should social media application require ID to allow people over 18 to create account. For this project, David worked on doing research about online redditors. Josh did research on social media checking the workforce, and I worked on gather information about internet bullying. After doing our research, we put all the information together and build this presentation. David recorded his presentation on slides 2, 3, and 4 to talk about main concern and facts of our topics. I do the introduction and I also record my presentation on slides 5 and 7, the importance and law. Josh will talk about issues, future concern, and our conclusion in this topic.
The main concerns we're going to be talking about are cyberbullying, online predators, and social media in the workplace. So you might be thinking that we're going too far saying that social media apps should require some type of ID so someone 18 or older can sign up for an account. But consider this. In Louisiana, we have the highest percentage of high school students who are being bullied online. This bullying online can actually cause more violence and mental damage to other students as it goes on. Facts. 1 of 5 U.S. teenagers who regularly log on the internet says they have received sexual solicitation via the web. In 2019, in March 2019, former Astros draft pick arrested with 8 others during undercover online sexual predator sting operation. According to a 2018 survey conducted by the Harris Poll, 70% of employers use social media platforms in their hiring process. 43% of employers use social media to watch over their current employees, according to the same survey. According to the national statistics, 9% of students in the 6th to 12th grade experience cyberbullying. 15% of high school students, grades 9 through 12, experienced cyberbullying in the past year. However, 55.2% of LGBT students experience cyberbullying. These facts show how dangerous is social media to children. Even a professional baseball player was caught being a sexual predator online, so who are kids really safe from on social media?
So, why is our topic important? The first reason is more and more children are affected by social media mentally, physically, and could potentially ruin their future. Second, with modern technology, cyberbullying is getting easier since anyone can do it, and they could do it anywhere, anytime, as long as they own a smartphone. Required identification will help combat the anonymous factor of social media, which will make people more liable for their actions. There are a lot of cases in which teenagers suicide over cyberbullying. Required ID will keep the kids from making social media accounts and bully the others.
There are a few issues that arise when on the topic of media use. Some professional dilemmas, but mostly ethical issues. Some of these being that the owners or CEO of a social media site will be looked at as the bad people for having a site related to bullying, sexual assault, etc. This will eventually run into various cyberbullying laws, depending on which state you live in. It is also not ethical to have an anonymous account to harass others or to harass people overall, especially whenever it comes to children who could become mentally scarred because someone has made fun of their insecurities. This also leads into the concern of whether or not a company should be allowed to view your past activities and pass judgment on you concerning a job opportunity. And lastly, the most concerning issue is based on hackers stealing this private information sent through the website for their own personal gain.
When we did research about laws for cyberbullying, we found out that right now there is no federal law that specifically applies to cyberbullying. However, there are laws to protect the children from harmful contents on the internet, such as Children Internet Protection Act of 2000. Each state have different laws and policy for anti-cyberbullying. Louisiana was ranked number 1 with highest percent of high school students bullying online from last year. This is why in Louisiana the government take this matter serious, and we have bullying laws such as number 14 Louisiana statute annotated section 40.7, in which cyberbullying can be charged under the state's cyberbullying law. When bullies use an electronic device to send written, spoken, or visual communication to someone younger than 18 years old with intent to abuse, scare, or intimidate that person. Number 14 Louisiana statute annotated section 40.2. More serious instances of cyberbullying can be charged as stalking or harassing action that would have made the other person feel alarmed or emotionally distressed. More serious penalties apply to offenses that cause the victim to fear bodily injury or death, or when the victim is younger than 18 years old. Number 14 Louisiana statute annotated section 40.3. Cyberbullying may also be prosecuted under Louisiana cyberstalking law. This occurs when the offensive behavior happens in an electronic format to threaten bodily harm on the victim or a victim family member, to extort money from the victim, repeatedly communicated for the purpose of harassing the victim, and other similar specific actions.
Some of these resolutions or dilemmas might arise in the future because of the social media change. Possibly there will be a hiatus on social media accounts to ridicule the owners, and there also might be an increase to restriction on social media platforms for everybody. If nothing is changed, then harm to children mentally will of course increase over time, and also a negative online reputation will impact future activities for both victims and bullies. In conclusion, we think as an overall that it is going to be impossible to stop kids from having social media accounts, and we do not want to restrict kids' freedom of speech either. We think as a society, everyone should help kids understand more on what he or she is doing on social media accounts.